Simon and I'm a misfit.
And I'm Sara and I'm a misfit too.
So welcome back to the video series of how to make a concrete sculpture of a pensioner sitting on a rock feeding birds. So we're very well progressed through the video series now. We're at the stage where we're going to show you how to do the hands, which is exactly why we have Sara here.
Yes. Why? Because the hands together with naked feet are my specialty. It's what I like the most. So I'm very excited to join on this project for this special moment. So as always, it's good to have a model to observe what you want to sculpt. So I want to download and print a couple of pictures. This way you have reference points or where your creases are and your reliefs are, so you know where you're going.
So while Sara's sculpting the hands, I'm just going to move ahead and start doing the rock, which is another simple thing which will show you some quick instructions.
So when I observe my picture, what I can see is that there are some bulges that correspond to the muscles of the hand. So my first step will be to create those volumes, and then I will be able to smooth out, and it will be very easy to create this structure. So I observe my model, and for each muscle I create a little patty that is the same size of the muscle I want to create. And then I apply it, so I very quickly get all the volumes I want to obtain. So this gives the general shape of the palm of the hand. And then with my spatula, I connect them together to have a harmonious shape. Here I've brushed with a little bit of water the palm of the hand to smoothen the surface so I can work with the volume. And I see that I need to add a little bit more to create the fold with the arm. So every time I observe again and I add a little bit or I take out a little bit of cement to correct my shape. I always add some milkshake on my first layer of cement so it sticks very well and doesn't risk to fall off. And here for the fingers, I will add for each finger 3 different patties that create also the shape of the muscle, so very quickly I obtain the perfect shape. So again, here I use the brush with a little bit of water to smoothen my surface and keep it wet so I can keep working on it. And I correct the volumes. I keep observing my model. This is very important. The observation is the key to have the right volumes in the right place. And then I add the main lines of the fold of the skin with my spatula. And I take a little bit of cement from the creases so I don't have extra. And I keep adjusting. And when I create the creases, it's important to keep a slight pressure with the spatula, so the cement will be solid on the sides and it will not crumble. Here I'm starting on the thumb, which is the more delicate finger to make because it has a very specific shape. So I add my patties that are always the same thickness. And I create with my spatula the volumes and the folds. And I always connect with a slight pressure the different patties together. So here I'm creating the general shape of the thumb by adding little patties, and then I connect them together. And to create the knuckle, I create a little patty, a little round or oval patty that I connect on the side, and that will directly create this volume of the knuckle very easily. And still with a little pressure, I make sure my cement is connected all together. And then with the edge of my spatula, I create the little creases. Now for the nail, I use my tiny spatula, and with the edge, I will create the creases of the nail, and then I will press here with the flat of the spatula to create the roundness of the nail. I keep working with my fingers, making my nails, and adding the knuckles with little round patties every time. That creates this volume very easily. And then I connect the parts together with my spatula to get a beautiful finger. If the cement is too wet and doesn't keep very well the shapes, there is no worry. I can just leave it for a while, work on something else, and I come back later when it's easier for me to work with it. And I keep repeating the same procedure for each finger, adding the volumes, the knuckles, and the nails. I create as well the knuckles that are at the bottom of the finger where it connects with the palm. Now I have almost finished my hand. The last thing that is left to do after that, once it has dried a little bit, will be to smooth all the little details with a brush a little bit wet again, like I did in the palm before.
For the arms, as you can see, I first applied a thin layer over everything, and once this thin layer is touch dry, I start adding the details. For the forearm, because he's leaning forward on his leg, the pressure will create a bulge. So I've added extra cement here and accentuated it with a crease running along his forearm toward his wrist. Next, I add extra cement to create the shape of the elbow. Once everything is dry, I can then smooth out the spatula marks. Now to add some veins, I first draw out the shape as a guideline. I add some milkshake and then add a thin strip of cement along my guidelines. With a wet brush, I can blend in this strip into the arm and to round the top of the strip to create the effect of veins. For the rock, first apply the milkshake as always, and then very, very roughly apply cement with your spatula. And while the cement is still wet, you can texture the cement with a plastic bag to create a rock-like effect. Once you've gone over your whole rock, you can then add extra bumps to create a more inconsistent shape. Okay, we've finished the hands and the arm and the rock. That's all for this video. In the next video, we're going to finish the final details, which are the shoes and the birds. Until then, happy sculpting. Please remember to subscribe to our channel. If you have any other questions, please ask below and we'll get right back to you. Until next time, see you later.
And have fun!